All right. See this? See this? I don't really see anybody talking about it, but it's mildly interesting. Sergio Martinez, you guys might have heard. I was rocking JD. Uh, this is just some random boxing talk. Random boxing talk. So I'm hearing Sergio Martinez trying to make a comeback, right? And it's like a comeback. Sergio is 45 years old. He gonna fight a guy named Jose Fandino, pro record, 15 wins, 6 losses, on August 22nd in Torre la Vega. And I don't really see nobody talking about it. Like, yo, one, why is Sergio coming back? He is 45 years old. Like, is he like coming back to fight for a title? He's bugging out. He's bugging out. What weight is this fight supposed to be at, man? What does any? Look, I'm gonna have to look this up. I'm like, what weight is Sergio fighting at? Because I know he ain't cutting all the way down to 154 no more. But what weight is they supposed to be fighting at, man? It's wild. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't see anybody talking about it, but it's real interesting. Trying to see what's the contracted weight for this giant. All right, so I'm looking at it. It's a middleweight contest. That's what this is. It's a middleweight contest. I don't know, man. I don't think that's going nowhere, man. I guess that's why nobody's really talking about it, though, because they don't expect anything to happen. The worst thing that could happen is Sergio go out there and somebody beat him up. But it's like, bro, you 45. Why do you even want to be out here? He said he wanted $2 million for Linares. Nah, I didn't see that. But you know what the thing is? The reason that I'm not spending a lot of time on Ryan Garcia versus Linares is because no matter what Ryan said, they couldn't put the fight together. Regardless of what he said, they couldn't put the fight together. If Linares was in Japan, there was no way they was going to get that dude over here in time to have a fight on July 4th. It was goody bad shit crazy. He's supposed to be fighting at 160. That's the contracted weight. It's bizarre. I don't see nobody talking about it. Feel me? Like, I don't see nobody talking about it, but this dude trying to make a comeback. And I'm like, okay, come back to do what? Come back to do what and come back to fight who? Who you trying to fight? Triple G? Jamor Charlo? Who you trying to fight? And how Sergio Martinez style was. That's a young man style. That's not like an old methodical tactician finesse fighter. Like, nah, Sergio was athletic. He moved around the ring. He throw punches. He was an athletic fighter. I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't think he should be. I don't think he should. But you know what? It's his life. It's his life. But I just don't know what's gonna come from that. I don't see the point in that. You a knockout waiting to happen. I seen I saw Nicholas Asbury, the dude that claimed Tyson Fury took the padding out of his gloves when he was sparring him, which is stupid by the way, but why would you do that for sparring? That don't make sense, bro. Why would he have to take the padding out of his gloves to spar with you? What is like for what? But I saw that dude on Blue Blood, another just I'm like, wow, bro, this dude is a nut, dog. Y'all seen that video? Y'all seen Nicholas Asbury talking about Tyson Fury yesterday? I wouldn't give him good odds to beat Charlo JD. I wouldn't. He's 45 years old. Let's be honest. He's 45 years old. That's what I'm saying, UK Rob. Why would you take the padding? All that stuff is to protect your hand. So let me go break my hand in sparring to beat Nicholas Asbury in sparring? That don't make sense, bro. Like, oh my god. And like, there is literally a video of JD's sitting right there while they wrap Tyson Fury's hands. And these dudes still wanna, it's like, y'all, them people can't be helped, man. They can't be like, it's literally a video. Somebody posted it on I think it was the last video I uploaded. It was that one or the one before that. They posted a video of how JD's was backstage in the locker room watching Tyson Fury get his hands wrapped. So it's like, bro, like at this point, if you endorsing that, it's because you an idiot. Like, I'm sorry. At this point, if you really believe that theory, it's because you want to, man. Like you want some nut, like you want some nut shit, man. BT, anybody could go look it up. It's on BT Sports YouTube channel. Like y'all want to believe that goofball shit, man. That's wild to me, man. Anyway, we gonna get some people in on this conversation. Nicholas Asbury, like the dude, like not for nothing, because what he says qualifies as hate speech. We got to be careful how we broach the subject because YouTube is on some nut stuff they self. Depending on what your video is about, they might not let you monetize it. So we got to be careful with that too. But he on some real prejudicial stuff, man. He is. He was talking wild smack, and I'm like, yo, dog, you ain't in no position to talk about who's elite and who not because you was over there getting beat by club fighters. I ain't forget he lost a couple of fights to some club fighters. You got a salute from Blue Flag. I'm like, yo, man. I seen that video. I don't know if you guys have seen it. The Nicholas Asbury video where he's on Blue Blood. But it's like, yo, you could tell that it's like, yo, all them cats got psychological problems. Like, and I'm not gassing it. Like, them cats, them dudes is like mentally unstable. If you gotta do all that just because Wilder lost the fight, bro, you need a psychiatrist. You need a psychiatrist. Shout out to Boxing Beats and Rhymes because the video he made, that video should have got an Emmy Award. That video should have got an Emmy Award. Go to Boxing Beats and Rhymes. If you haven't seen it already, go to his video about Wilder's fans and their inferiority complex. That video deserves a Pulitzer Prize. That's what that video deserves. It deserves a Pulitzer Prize. Because I couldn't have said it better myself. Y'all cats must just feel inferior to everybody, really. Because if you think that, oh, I can't win, the game is rigged, man, you just making excuses because you scared to try. That's what it is. You making excuses because you scared to try. You got to convince yourself that they got to do all that. Like, man, you crazy. Like, what's rocking, Virtuoso? Shoot, I'm just waking up, sipping my morning coffee. But I seen that Nicholas Asbury video, and I was like, wow, dog, these dudes is sick in the head, yo. Like, they really got psychological problems. Like, it ain't even for comedic value that I'm saying it. Them dudes legit got psychological problems. That morning sermon was the best, Brown going one. That was the best. I felt like I was in church. Yeah, Alex Salcedo's all right. He's all right. Video titles be tabloid title. Wow, Wilder got it. Yeah, man, it's pathetic though. It's pathetic. Look, the stuff. I'll say that from the YouTube author's angle, it's very obvious why they sensationalize the story, even though it's obviously not true. It's obvious why they sensationalize it because they're looking to make a profit. That is clickbait. So that's easy to understand. What's not easy to understand is why people actually believe it when there's video footage of JD's watching Tyson Fury get his hands wrapped. There's literally video footage of him sitting right there watching him. So at that point, if you still want to believe that theory, it's because you slow. Like you slow. That's because no punitive that they haven't. The reason that Team Fury hasn't sued them is because YouTube rumors haven't gotten really past YouTube. It's like you not costing Tyson Fury no money with what you saying. You have not caused him to suffer like a penalty or something because of the allegations that you making. Now, if it did, then you could sue them for slander. Then you could sue them for slander. Like, okay, now you slandering my name with unsubstantiated allegations, and now I'm going to sue you for it. Now I'm going to sue you for it, and we'll see how many videos you want to make about it then. Because remember, it's not like it's Wilder saying this and that. It's not like it's JD's or Mark Breland. It's people on YouTube. Right now I'd go Ortiz, man. To be completely honest, Hemmings, I'd go Ortiz right now till Josh shows me that he gets it together. I ain't like how he looked against Ronowski. I ain't like how he looked against Robinson. So till he showed me better, I'd go Virgil Ortiz. Tyson responded to it. That is true. He did respond to it. And for what it's worth, Marcellus Wilder, he more or less is trying to insinuate what they're trying to insinuate. But I'll tell you what, if it gets to a point to where it costs Tyson Fury any kind of money at all, if it gets to a point where there's an actual physical effect as a result of the allegation, he can sue for slander because it don't take a lot. You telling me that I tried to beat this man with a metal object, you either gonna prove it or you gonna pay me because you slandering me. I'm not slandering y'all, you slandering me. Not only are you slandering me, you slandering the Nevada State Athletic Commission, the World Boxing Council, and the member of Wilder's team. You slandering all of them because all of them was present when he got his hands wrapped. So if you saying that somebody let him walk in the ring with a metal object, it would have been them. Ortiz KOs him. I love Josh Kelly style, but he needs to tighten it up. He's got to stop doing flashy stuff, man. You got to stop doing that. Like that flashy stuff is cool for a little while, man. Ronowski had you looking kind of weird, bro. What do you think about the alleged dent in Wilder's head? I think it's completely possible that his head was dented as a result of a 274-pound man punching him on the side of the head. That's what I think, if you want me to be honest. I think that if he has, I don't even know that he does, but if he has a dent on the side of his head, Wilder is a skinny little heavyweight that was fighting a man that's 273 pounds. So you know that you could get your face broke when there's that much of a size differential. You see what I'm saying? You got to prove it, bro. If you got proof, then prove it. Show me where they slipped Wilder and Mickey. Show me where Tyson Fury has something illegal in his glove. Show me how he got it to the ring. The burden of proof is always on the accuser, not the accused. It's innocent until proven guilty. So if you accusing him of bringing a metal object into the ring, you got to prove it. And if you think you're going to show still images of gloves while they're being used in a boxing match, you got another thing coming. I got to get Beats on here, man. I got to get Beats on here because Beats Beats said it the best, that whether he beat him fair and square or he actually did do what they saying he did, either way, you dudes lost. Crying about it ain't going bring the belt back. That was a hell of a goddamn video. Could have made some good fights for Hunter, like Parker. Yeah, I agree with that, David. I agree with that. Hunter got shafted because he's Hunter. Look, it's a couple of things. It's that Matchroom is trimming the fat because they're suffering losses right now, like everybody else, and they do have plans for certain fighters. It's just that Hunter wasn't one of them. They have plans for Dillian White. They got plans for Anthony Joshua. They got plans for Usyk. But for Hunter, he was the odd man out. We don't got no plans for you. A lot of our guys are actually busy. Anthony Joshua is going to be busy for the next 2 fights. Dillian White might be busy for the next 2 fights. Usyk might be busy for the next 2 fights. Maybe you could get a Chisora fight, but that's down the line. That's down the line. And that's if Usyk beats him. Parker, he all the way over there in New Zealand. Hergovic, he over there in Croatia. We don't got nothing for you to do right now. That's what it was. I think it was still a bad move that they let him go because now he gonna end up on another platform being content for somebody else because you let him go. So you gonna end up making somebody else's stable deeper because you let him go. Beats, I gotta get Beats on here. Got you right now, Beats. It says device is not connected. I got you right. Good, man. All right, hold on. It says device is not connected again. I'm gonna get you on as soon as it says device is connected, Beats. But yeah, like with Hunter, I understand the move. Like I actually understand the move that if you stay with us right now, your career might stagnate because we don't have anything for you right now. Like we can't get you a Parker fight right now because Parker's in New Zealand. We can't get you a Hergovic fight right now because Hergovic is in Croatia. The other thing about those fights is those guys gotta want to fight you. I don't know that Parker would want to fight Michael Hunter. I don't know that he would want to fight him. I'm not saying that he wouldn't. I'm just saying that I don't know that that fight would get made easy peasy. I don't know that. So they kind of did the right. It's like it's messed up, but they did the right thing because Matchroom at that point didn't have nothing for him to do. All right. I was good, B.
What's good, Bree?
Man, listen, man. Did you see that Nicholas Asbury video, man? They talking about Tyson Fury, all of that.
What's good, Bree? Again?
Bro, it's I'm gonna tell you, when you watch the video, right? It's everything that you said it is. It's an inferiority complex. There's no 2 ways of it's like, bro, like ain't nobody gotta do all that to beat Deontay Wilder. I'm sorry. Ain't no like you ain't gotta do all that to beat this dude. You know what I'm saying? And if you taking it that way, it's because you feel inferior to that guy.
Right, that's as simple as that. You don't have to do that to beat no fight. I don't think there's no fighter who's ever lived who's been that dangerous. You have to do all that to get a W over. There's no fighter unless you have severe inferiority in like complex issues. You must have severe issues. You know,
if you think about the implication, right? You're talking about him being drugged. You're talking about him being beaten by a metal object. You're talking about the commission, the Nevada State Athletic Commission, the World Boxing Council, a member of. It's like, bro, like you ain't got to do all that to beat. Like, I'm sorry, you ain't got to do all that to beat Wilder.
No.
Luis Ortiz came close to beating Wilder. You ain't got to do all that.
I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I mean, like the Top Rank have got at least 30 odd years of legacy. Like, you know, like if they're gonna cheat, like it's gonna look, they're gonna do scorecard, or maybe they might try juicing if they, but not. There's not gonna be blood poison, food poisoning, tampered gloves. this, that, moles in the camp and shit. Everything.
Yo, bro, it's like, yo, I said it. I did a video on it, right? And I was like, yo, dog, the easiest thing to do, right, is just pay a couple of judges.
Right.
That's it. Pay a couple of judges.
Yo, but Ring, why wouldn't they give Wilder the decision in 2018? I mean, Fury the decision in 2018. What has changed that much in America that there's an advantage giving him a win now than the decision back then? Why not?
That's what I'm saying. That like if you think about it, right? If you think about it, if it's that nefarious, like, oh my God, he got Daniel Kinahan in his corner. They shifty, they shady. All right, then if they was gonna give it to Fury, it would have been easier to give it to him in the first fight.
Right.
All you got to do is give him one dodgy scorecard, like Canelo always has. Canelo always has one dodgy scorecard. In the Amir Khan fight, they had a clean sweep for Canelo. One judge had Khan up, another judge had Canelo up by a point, and another judge had a clean sweep for Canelo. All you got to do is get one of them judges. That's it. Like, we got one judge on the table. We paid him off. Tyson Fury going to win no matter what with that judge.
Right. You see, back before the Luis Resto days, they didn't hand gloves into the commission. So you could tamper gloves and keep them and destroy the evidence probably, right? You could do that then, right? But now, like, with social media and so much people and eyes on the sport, look, this is the way people get advantages these days. Like Pacquiao, like doing all them catchweight fights, or Canelo doing all the catchweight fights, drain you out. You know what I mean? Make you do a rehydration on the day. That's how they get over. Or they might have a CJ Ross if it goes to the sport. But all the shit they're talking about is dating as fuck, bro.
It would be in 2020, glove tampering would be the most impractical way, because remember, when the fight's over, what's stopping a member of the other guy's team from coming over and examining your gloves and touching your gloves? Like, even if by some chance, some miracle, you manage to get some, I find it almost impossible. Right. Even if at some point you manage to get something in there, when the fight is over, there's nothing stopping the other guy or the commission, anybody, from touching your glove and saying, yo, what's in your glove, bro? Take your gloves off for a minute.
Exactly.
Like, it's insane, bro. That would have to be.
I might go on a boxing chat.
I was Goody South London, was Goody Mo Boxing. It would be the most impractical way of trying to rig a fight. Like, yeah, let me walk in here with an egg weight in my hand and let me just hope that nobody knows.
What's Goody?
I used to see that in them cartoons back in the day. Like, you know, they put a horseshoe in the glove. And, you know, like, this shit's crazy, man.
But that's where their brain is at. They on some, like, I remember Bugs Bunny when he fought Shropshire Slasher. He put an anvil in the glove. I'm like,
the anvil, yeah, right. You got the anvil in the glove, right?
Like, yo, dog, like, this is not a cartoon, bro. If you really, the more efficient and the more commonly practiced way to go about winning a fight that maybe you don't think you can win is to pay off the judges, man. It happens all the time.
And listen. Was Kenny Bayless refereeing the rematch?
I can't even remember if it was Kenny Bayless. Yeah, it was, because he was doing everything he could.
Fury was giving him the business, and Kenny Bayless broke up the action when Fury was on the attack. Right?
That's the other. Like, yo, Bayless was doing everything he could to help Wilder. Everything.
Right. Come on, man. Come on. I mean, like, it's embarrassing, man. It's embarrassing.
It is.
It's embarrassing for American boxing that you've got these clowns who just won't let it die, man. They won't let the fight die.
I would say it's because how could I put it? Americans don't know boxing the way that they used to, right? You understand? Like, I'm gonna say that the average boxing fan in the United Kingdom likely knows more about the sport right now than the average boxing fan in America, because a lot of Luis Ortiz's biggest proponents, and I've experimented with this and proven it. A lot of the guys that'll tell you that Ortiz is this and that don't know nothing about who he fought. They just know what they're being told by YouTube channels. So that's what they go off of. But if you ask them, yo, what's Luis Ortiz's best win? They're not gonna be able to tell you nothing.
I think the propaganda doesn't help them though. There's a lot of propaganda merchants out there that are giving false information to a lot of Americans at the minute.
The question isn't why the propaganda peddlers are doing it. They're doing it for money. They're doing it for super chat money. That's why they're doing it. So they're easy to understand. The question is, why do the people on the ground not know better? And it's because of what I've been saying for 3 years. They tried to turn a boxing issue into something else. Basic, because that's what they do with everything. They turned a boxing issue into an issue about other things that I'm not going to mention because I'm trying to monetize this video. But that's
one of them spoke about attempted murder, and the guy who did it, who's talking about attempted murder for the Wilder fans, like Boxing Librarian, done a video debunking his knowledge on historical boxing, and the amount of stuff he got wrong was incredible. But he was talking like he was a knowledgeable historian. That, you know what? I'll tell you, one of the most dangerous things you have is when someone doesn't know what they're talking about, but they sound like they know what they're talking about.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
100%. It's like Louis Resto, right, is a good example of this. That even though Louis Resto and Panama Louis got to go in there with the plaster and the raps, even after the fight, they didn't get away with it because the other dude seemed like, yo, what's that? And then he had the commission look at it. You're not going to get away with it, bro. You understand? Like, it's too many ways to get caught. And that was way back when. So imagine now in 2020 when it's a camera everywhere and it's people examining it. Like, bro, ain't nobody going to do that because that's the most impractical way to rig a fight. If you want to rig a fight in your favor, you pay off a judge. You pay off 2 judges.
See, because like that was 1983, right? That was on what card was that?
De Jesus and Duran.
That's right. No, it was on Davey Moore and Duran. Davey Moore.
Davey Moore.
Yeah. And they didn't seem to know, like Resto didn't seem to know if Panama wrapped his gloves or the other guy. But Resto was thinking Panama wrapped one glove and the other guy wrapped the other glove. And the commission, they don't seem too clued in. So them days you could get away with that stuff there. Because what they did, what Panama did, he took the horse padding out of the glove. And the hand was plaster Paris, man, like rock hard plaster Paris underneath. So they really messed up Billy Collins bad. They messed him up pretty bad. But even then, like Billy Collins, he could have fought again, right? Let's not get this twisted. His career wasn't over. His dad stopped him going in the ring because they were holding out for a lawsuit.
But even with something as egregious as that, I guess what you take away from it, what needs to be taken away is that even though they got to enter the ring with plaster in the hand wraps, at the end of the day, they still got caught.
Yes, they got caught.
So if you walking in there with a metal object, bro, you gonna get caught, bro. Ain't unless I cannot reconcile how you would pull that off.
It's too much, man. Food poisoning, this, that, infiltration in the camp.
Yeah.
You can't pull all that off. There's no way you're gonna look. Somewhere you're gonna slip up, right? Somewhere or the other, you're gonna slip up.
And remember what the end game is, which is what makes it silly. Think about what the end game is. Getting the WBC title.
Right, exactly.
We're gonna do all this just to get the W. Like, come on, dog. Like,
right.
Have you sat down and thought about this? Like, yo, we gonna do all this, even though a lot of people think Tyson Fury already beat you, but we gonna do all this. We gonna poison you. We gonna beat you with a metal object. We gotta pay off Nevada. We gotta pay off the WBC. We gotta get a member of your team, try to pay them off, and hope they don't say no. Come on, dude. Like, give me a break, though. Like, come on now. You gonna do all that when all you really gotta do is pay one judge? That's all you gotta do is pay one judge.
Right. Pay off the judge. If it goes the distance, you know, that gives you at least a 50% or whatever the odds are before the fight. If it goes to the scorecards, like the first fight did, then you know what I mean, then you have a great shot if you paid off the judges. But the rest is too clunky. Way too clunky, man.
Think about Canelo Alvarez's fights, right? There's always one judge that's way out there. Like, what goddamn fight were you watching? There's always one. And that's the effect that paying off just one judge can have. It's the difference between winning and losing. CJ Ross, the judge in the Amir Khan fight, Adelaide Bird. All you need is one judge in the pocket, and you might win the fight. So you're going to tell me instead of doing that, nah, we going to put a horseshoe in the glove and we going to poison? Like, bro, this is something out of a cartoon. Like, who devised this plan, dog? It's when I think about it, it's like, bro, like you really, even if you want to rig a fight, you still wouldn't do that because that's stupid. That's dumb. That's right. Like if I want to murk a guy, right? Let me blow up the whole building. When I could just wait for him to come out the building, let me blow up the whole building. Like, bro, that's harder to hide.
Exactly. And the thing is, Tyson must have some big old hands, right? And listen, if we were to go through all the heavyweights and do still shots, we'll find their gloves in very interesting positions, I'm sure.
Yeah,
but no one's doing that.
Remember, Gabe Rosado was saying that about Triple G for a long time. He was saying that about Triple. Oh, look at his glove. I never seen a glove look like. Bro, look, come on, man. You was in the middle of a fight and you was getting punched in your face.
Exactly.
Things is going to look a certain way, feel a certain way. At the end of the day, what you have to reconcile when you allege glove tampering is, was the commission in on it? Was the sanctioning bodies in on it? And was a member of your team in on it? Because they would have to be. That's the only way you're going to get away with it.
Now you said that, right? They're putting all this shit on Fury. Right? The glove tampering is the biggest one. You're putting all this crap on Fury. How come you're not accusing the Las Vegas Commission or JD's? How come they haven't came into it?
Exactly. Because they got it. They would have to be in on it. There's no two ways about it. From the time that you getting your hands wrapped to the ring walk, all those people don't leave you. The commission stay with you. The sanctioning bodies stay with you. A member of the other guy's team watches. And the worst part is, which is what makes it ridiculous, there is actually footage of JD's sitting down, watching them wrap Tyson Fury's hands. Like, so come on, dude. Like, come on now, man. Like, y'all got to grow up, man. Grow up, y'all.
Oh, I will say though, I mean, JD doesn't look like the most competent person in the world, so maybe maybe he ain't the right person to be watching the gloves being wrapped.
Well, you got a point. So that means it's their fault, right? You've got a point. Maybe the guy they got watching, because Nassim Richardson, when Margarito was cheating, he caught him.
Yeah.
He caught him.
Yep.
So if you're going to blame anyone, that's your team. They're supposed to be in there overseeing the hands getting wrapped. Then, there you go. There you go.
But would you say it's a smoke screen if basically if JD's and Mark Breland still have their job, all this snake in the camp, it could be like a smoke screen to just hide whatever.
I'll say if look, what'll be interesting is if we see who is it in Wilder's camp that he's firing, because they tried to say that Mark Breland was in cahoots. What did they say? They said Mark Breland was in cahoots with Anthony Durrell, who's in cahoots with Sugar Hill. That's what they was trying. I'm like, bro, what kind of cockamamie theory is this? You telling me that because Anthony Durrell was behind there, tell him, yo, stop the fight while they're getting beat, that means Mark Breland is the snake? Come on, man. Come on, man.
Absolutely crazy. It's like they're acting like they didn't witness Wilder taking an absolute shallacking in there. I mean, many people were calling for the fight to get stopped. It wasn't just Anthony Durrell. Come on, man.
Plus, they were arguing in the corner about throwing in the towel as well.
But that was the original. I remember after the fight, that was the original theory that because Anthony Durrell or Andre, no, it wasn't even Anthony. It was Andre Durrell, but Wilder didn't know the difference. He accused Anthony Durrell of doing it. Hold on, let me mute this right quick. He accused Anthony Durrell of being in cahoots with Mark Breland. Come to find out, Anthony wasn't at the fight. That was Andre. So you didn't even know which brother it was. You saying that because Andre was screaming to Mark, stop the goddamn fight, that means that they was conspiring against you. Bro, you don't want to admit you was getting your ass beat. That's what you leaving out, that you was getting your ass beat. That's why they was saying stop the goddamn fight, because you're not doing nothing.
Exactly.
Do you
Like,
know what? If anyone deserves to be sacked, it's probably the management. Because if you turn down like 120 million to go and fight for whatever you fought for, then for the show to not even break even on the pay per view sales, I mean, it's all gone tits up over there. So I
Let
would
me
more blame the management.
let me address Crunch Cat. If you go to BT Sports YouTube channel, they uploaded the video very recently of JD's seated in the locker room watching Wilder get his hands wrapped. It's on YouTube. It's on BT Sports YouTube channel. You could go look at it. It's up there right now.
okay, yeah, yep.
It's like I said, to me, it's childish. It's childish. And when you look at look at who really is propagating this conspiracy theory. A guy, Blue Blood Sports, Dante. It's like, bro, like, all right, dog. Y'all dudes is just trying to get super chat money. I dig it. I ain't mad that you trying to get money, but you could pick a more honorable way to do it.
Their most credible source is a guy who got done for PEDs.
Pretty much. Anybody like you see what Michael Morva is saying. You see what everybody's saying. Like, bro, you got beat, dog. You got beat because you can't box. That's why you got beat, and that's what people been saying about you. That's why you lost, because you ain't know what to do.
Mayweather Senior said he was trash. You know what I mean? Well, it was trash.
Now all of a sudden things that and that's the thing. For 5 years, Floyd Mayweather Sr.'s word was gospel. Now all of a sudden, when he says, "Yo, that dude is garbage," y'all don't want to listen to him. But y'all was listening to him for 5 years, though. Everything the Mayweather say is gospel. So when the Mayweathers is telling you, "Yo, that dude is trash," y'all don't want to listen to him. All right then, but all right, do what you want.
Do you know what I've noticed though? They didn't really go in on him after that loss as much as they did when Joshua first lost. I feel like when Joshua first lost, it's like a lot of people were against him. But when Wilder lost, it's just like, oh yeah, there's all these problems and blah blah blah. And people in the mainstream who could have just been like, yeah, like his boxing's not that good enough. I mean, a few people did, but a lot of people who I expected to didn't. And I was kind of surprised about that.
That's
They're
because they
backing
still
him to win
think
the
that
third fight as well.
they still think America is obviously the land of boxing, so they can't tarnish the American heavyweight. That's why.
That is.
But it's shit though. You can't back someone at all odds.
That's right, and that's the only way you can improve is when you tell someone, "Look, what you're doing is inadequate."
That's I'm gonna say that's exactly what it is, because they still living in the 80s and the early 90s when we had Holyfield and Mercer and all these guys. Like, bro, we ain't been, as far as the heavyweight division, we ain't been running that show in like 20, 30 years, damn near. It's been since we had like a real guy there. It's been like 20, 30 years, man. So I mean, don't, and I've been saying, and it's worse that you've been told Wilder ain't it, bro. You've been told that dude ain't it, man. He ain't no good. And when you watch him get his ass beat, you act surprised. Like, bro, I just spent 3-4 years telling you he ain't it.
Right. I'm telling you, man. We need more channels like Ring IQ from America to get America on the standing it used to be, because you're going to tell the truth. Like, listen, British heavyweights have to hear it. You are horizontal heavyweights. You can't fight. You need to toughen up. And to a degree, we've done that. We ain't got no Jack Johnsons or Joe Lewis's yet, but yo, climbing up there, bit by bit.
But it's obvious when you got Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Dillian White, Joe Joyce, Daniel Dubois. It's obvious that there's been a shift.
Yeah.
And given the history of American heavyweights that we have, there's no reason you need to throw a temper tantrum that somebody else is running the show. Like, it's cool, man. Let them make history. We got plenty of history. Sonny Liston, Ali, Joe Frazier, George Foreman, Larry Holmes, Mike Tyson. So you could turn around and cry like a little bitch as soon as somebody else starts having good fighters. Like, come on, man. Grow up. That's what they doing with the Eastern Europeans now. Oh, the Eastern Europe. Like, bro, you know when the wall came down and they were able to integrate themselves into the sport more. That's what changed everything. But you guys won't know that because you won't pick up a fucking book.
Right.
You won't pick up a book.
Exactly. With Berlin Wall and the Soviet Union, when that split up, it changed the game. It changed the game. You know?
And they trying to act like, oh, like, look, think about it this way, right? Nicholas Asbury, in his tirade yesterday, he was trying to accuse all fighters of a certain denomination, which I'm not going to say because I want to monetize this video. Like, I got to be very careful. I got to be very careful. He was trying to accuse all fighters of a certain denomination of using performance-enhancing drugs, while Jarrell Miller has been caught for the third time. I'm like, yo, when are you going to acknowledge?
See, all that crap there, I mean, like, once you're in the capitalist system, anyone will cheat. Black, white, Asian, Jews, the people do what they do to get ahead. If you get caught, you get caught. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah,
you
but
can't prove it, then you can't prove it.
They're trying to create, and I'm gonna say create because it's not real. They're trying to create a stigma that any Eastern European fighter is on performance-enhancing drugs. And I'm thinking, yo, look at the last 4 years. Ryan Martin was on PEDs, bro. And he still lost. That's the funny part. He still lost. Like, you took all them pads.
Yeah.
You took them pads just for Josh Taylor to beat the shit out of you like that? That's crazy. So what do you like off PEDs? You know what I mean? But
maybe he would have got knocked out quicker off PEDs if that was the case.
That's what I think. I'm like, yo, Ryan Martin got caught. Dominic Wade was it Dominic Wade? No, it wasn't Dominic Wade. Who else just got caught? And it was low key. Nobody was talking about it. Who else just got caught on PEDs? It was Ryan Martin, Jarrell Miller. These are American fighters, right? The fighters that you think is like, oh my God, we the best just because we the best. Like, no, bro. What you have is an inferiority complex, and you live vicariously through other people. So when them people turn out to be not what you think they was, your world come crashing down. Because I swear to God, I looked at the video of Nicholas. I'm like, yo, this dude is a psycho. You a psycho, bro. You nuts. You got beat by Daniel March. You ain't in no position to be talking about Tyson Fury. You can't get past Daniel March. And I'm not a Fury fan. I'm not, but it's like, come on, dog, grow up, man. Show some class. Show some class. All right.
What about Marcellus? Marcellus is accusing Fury of cheating. He got busted for PED.
Yep, and they swept it under the rug.
Right.
Nobody want to talk about it, but I seen it. I seen after that fight, that came out and it quickly went away. Boxing scene wasn't talking about it. Bad Left Hook wasn't talking. Nobody was talking about it. But I remember that wasn't that long ago. I'm like, what happened to his PED case?
Yeah.
They even scrubbed, I think, his first knockout loss from YouTube.
Oh, that's X-Files. Them fights are X-Files. They're on the X-Files list now. Can't find the head or tail of it. Who done him again? What's his name?
It's wild, bro. It's to me, it's like, and it's like, what? Because Wilder lost the fight, bro. Get over it. Like, this is heavyweight boxing. Ali lost, and I can't stress this enough. If the greatest of all times lost the fight, right? Or and let's move on from Ali. If Larry Holmes, one of the a guy who has almost the most title defenses, Joe Louis, Larry Holmes, these are all guys that lost fights, but they had way more title defenses than Wilder, way better resumes than Wilder, and they lost fights. Wilder lost one fight, and this is how you react?
It's crazy. It's crazy.
You know what? I remember him saying that he's gonna clean up the heavyweight division, and then he's gonna go to the cruiserweight
to fight his brother for the cruiserweight title.
And I'm thinking to myself, if this guy goes down there, he'll just get destroyed.
If you was to go through America's racist past, we can go back to George Dixon, right? The bantamweight, first black champion. They used to have sticks on the edge of the ring and try and smash his legs, and that's what I heard. Even when Jack Johnson beat Jeffries and Burns, they didn't come out with all these conspiracies that Jack Johnson, oh, he must have cheated. And they were racist as fuck.
Exactly. Like, yo, I'm like, yo, dog, they had to eat that. Can you imagine how they felt watching Jim Jeffries get beat? But it wasn't no conspiracy theories. Like, yo, he got beat, dog. Jack beat him. It is what it is, yo.
Jeffrey said he's the best I fought. He's the best I fought.
Like, I'm like, so that in 2020 we got to put an anvil in Tyson Fury's boxing glove, and the Nevada State Athletic Commission, the World Boxing Council. Like, come on, bro. Why don't you just grow the hell up, man? Grow up, man. Jesus Christ.
They just it's amazing immaturity, you know. It's just amazing immature. I don't get it. I don't get it.
That's because I said this in an old video. They took something, right, a real issue in America, and they tried to make that issue synonymous with Wilder, as if Wilder was a civil rights leader or the ambassador of a civil rights organization. And because of that, the passion that you feel about police brutality is being attached to boxing. We're like, no, them two things don't got nothing to do with each other, bro. If you want to talk about police brutality, I'm with you. But if you're going to try to make it seem like Wilder's a victim, no, he ain't a victim, dog. He got his ass beat because he can't box. That's why.
Can't be a victim if you've got the ability to hit back.
Right.
Remember when they said that, Tyson Fury, and they said this after, they said this actually before the Fury fight as well, that, Wilder's special because he gives up so much weight to his opponents. And I'm like, he's like, what? Like, what are you talking? He has the same ability as those opponents to walk in a little heavier. So what the hell are you talking about? If Wilder want to go in there weighing 212 or 221, that's because of him. Because you could put on weight if you want to. This is the heavyweight division. Ain't no cap. That, like, get the fuck out. You want me to feel sorry for him. And that's when I started seeing it like, that's what you want me to do. You want me to feel sorry for him.
Yeah. Pity party. Because I heard some of them complaining, Fury was too big. Look how heavy he weighed, like it's illegal to weigh heavy in the heavyweight division. It was like, oh my gosh, this is really embarrassing, man.
Yeah,
ever since he gained a certain amount of fans, I think they've just been looking for ways to give him props when he doesn't deserve props. Like for the Andy Ruiz beating Joshua, he got so much props. For that, and I just thought, but he wasn't even in the ring, bro. Like, how does a man win when you're not in the ring?
That's how I'm gonna tell you something. The way that they treated Andy Ruiz beating Anthony Joshua showed you that they were scared of Anthony Joshua. Why would you be happy that Wilder wasn't the one that did it? A part of you should be pissed that Wilder wasn't the one that did it. If I'm Wilder, right, I'm not going to celebrate that Andy beat me to him. I'm going to be upset at myself and my team. Because I
want lots of paydays.
He was celebrating like he was having a sigh of relief. Like, thank God, now I don't have to fight him. Thank God. That's what it looked like, because I would not be celebrating like, nah, man, I wanted to knock him out. Shit.
Me personally, man, I wouldn't care what color the person was. I would come out and say, look, fuck all the because I lost. I feel ashamed to have people making all the excuses for me, man. I will not. Let me just take the L. I either retire, I got a whole lot of money, retire, or I'll come back again and fight the rematch. One of the two.
Even with the Fury versus...
That's why AJ is my guy. The day after the goddamn fight, he was sitting in that chair, and it was bricks behind. Yo, look, I lost, bro. That's it. I lost. And I'm going to win the rematch, and we going to work, and that's it. But I lost. Ain't no panic attack. I lost. That's how a man handle it. Like, yo, bro, I lost. We going to have a second fight, right? Cool. I got him in the second fight. Don't even worry about it. That's how you handle that.
You know what? I don't think he got enough credit for that rematch, you know, because you got to think, like, that was on 6 months' notice. It weren't like I'm going to take fights in between and blah, 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 and then we'll get back to it when we can, maybe a year later. It was like literally next, straight back in. And I think that showed levels, because how many people's done that in history?
Not really? I'm gonna say, even with Lennox and McCall, Lennox didn't have an immediate rematch with McCall. It was like 2-3 fights, 1 or 2 years.
Yeah.
Between the first McCall fight and the second McCall fight. And McCall ended up fighting Bruno and losing to Bruno before he had the rematch with McCall, with Lennox. AJ went right in like, nah, man, I got this guy. And that's how I knew, look, this is my theory. You can feel free to disagree. I do think something was wrong with him, and he knew something was wrong with him, and that's why he knew it's all right. I just need a second fight. I can get him. I just need a second fight. Because that's how you act. Like, if I know, yo, my toe was hurting in the first fight, I know I could get him in the second fight if my toe don't hurt. So I'm gonna have that second fight. You didn't see him talk like, nah, I gotta fight a couple of tune-up fights. I need a confidence building fight. He wanted to get right back in there.
Yep. I felt he needed to as well. Like some people said, oh, he needs to take some. So that's the worst thing for him, man. That'd be the worst thing.
No, but it also shows that he learns quicker than a lot of people.
And that
give
was
him
always
credit
the case with AJ. I watched Beats' video about how Anthony Joshua qualified for the Olympics. In retrospect, with Tyson Fury and his situation at the time, that AJ was a fast learner, and that's been consistent with him throughout his amateur and professional career. That he's a fast learner. It don't take him that long to pick up some new tricks. That's consistent with him in the Ruiz rematch. You're like, yo, I know what I got to do to you. I just got to keep you at arm's length. That's all I got to do with you. Yeah, you could fight. You dangerous, but that's mid-range to inside. I'm taller than you. All I got to do is keep you on the outside.
That's right. Keep it long, and it's all yours. It's all yours. You know?
I'm not going to lie. I can't wait to see Joshua on the inside of Fury, just to see what that would look like. Like a phone booth fight between both of them.
I'm going to tell you what, that on the inside, if we're going to talk about that, on the inside, mid-range to inside in the pocket, Joshua's a sharper puncher than Fury. Fury's best bet is to keep Joshua on the outside. Do not let him get close to you because he's going to bang you up in there. Fury slaps a lot with his punches. They're not clean and sharp, even on the inside. Now, on the outside, he can hit you with something hard because he got long arms.
Yeah. His straighter shots from range are better than his up close work. Definitely so.
I just want to see that signature uppercut.
I'm confident when it comes to that particular punch. I'm confident that we're going to see a resurgence of that punch in the Fury fight, because that used to be Joshua's money punch, the uppercut, when he was coming up and he was having those fights. That used to be his go-to punch. We haven't seen it a lot lately because he's been fighting a little safer, obviously. But I think in a Fury fight, oh yeah, I'm expecting to see that. I might see it in the Pulev fight. Crunch Cat says Wilder is 6'7". He could be 180 pounds and still hit with frightening authority. So the weight argument is nothing. I think that what people were trying to say by the weight, Crunch Cat, is that he's giving up so much weight to his opponents that we should give him credit. And what I was saying was he's not giving up shit. He has the same ability that they do to walk in at that same weight. If Wilder want to walk in 245, he has the option. If you don't want to do that, that's just your motherfucking problem. This is the heavyweight division, not the welterweight division. Ain't nobody stopping you from putting on some weight. AJ put on and put off weight. He gained weight. He lost weight at his discretion. So when I seen Wilder's fans saying that shit, I'm like, yo, y'all just want to give him credit for basic shit. Oh, because his opponent weighs more than him. Dave, look at Value Webb and David Hay. For God's sake.
You got a super chat. They want me to say bomb squad. Bomb squad. Tyrese. Big up Tyrese. Yeah.
Oh,
man.
Bomb Clyde. Oh, man. Like, yo, dog, like, that's not like, this is the heavyweight division. This ain't welterweight. This ain't super middleweight or light heavy. This heavyweight. If Wilder wants to walk in there 20, 30 pounds heavier than he did in his last fight, he can. But if they're not doing that, all right, then that's y'all B. That's y'all prerogative. Y'all want to do that. But you're not going to get cool points. You ain't going to get brownie points for it. The hell out of here. Especially when most of the guys you fought with fat cruiserweights. Your fans don't know. But I do.
That's right.
He did come in heavier in the last fight, but I don't think it helped him much.
I don't I'll say Wilder, and I don't want to keep sounding like I'm taking the piss, but I'm being honest. Whatever preparation he goes through in a camp is not specific to the fighter. His focus seems to be the exact same thing for every single fighter, no matter how different they were than the last guy. Because Gerald Washington is nothing like Eric Molina, and Eric Molina is nothing like Luis Ortiz, and Luis Ortiz is nothing like Dominic Breazeale. But they got the same game plan. Land the right hand. That's it. That's all you're looking to do is land the right hand. So weight and that kind of strategy, it doesn't even come into it. You're going to do the same thing no matter what. No matter who's in there, you're going to do the same thing.
You know what? Yeah, you're absolutely right on that. And I thought it was just only a matter of time before his lack of boxing skills get exposed. The problem is now they're saying that, well, I think the first Ortiz fight, they were saying, oh, we're going to go back to basics. And since then, they haven't gone back to basics.
Nope.
And when they did the Ortiz 2 fight, they were like, oh, Wilder was so patient. He was patient. And I was thinking, mate, this guy's been eating shots the whole fight.
Yep.
And you're telling me he learned patience. Like, you can't be eating shots like that and then getting praised for it just because you scored a knockout.
More so, because you're setting traps, that you don't have to lose rounds to set traps. Because that's what they're implying, that, oh, Wilder was setting traps, that he's being patient. But he always did that, dog. He wasn't throwing a lot of punches in the first Ortiz fight. Like, he wasn't throwing that many punches. Wilder's not a prolific puncher. He looks to get you out with one shot. Wilder's not a combination puncher. Like get the fuck out. He doing the same shit that he been doing. You lose.
This is how ignorant they are to the sport. It don't matter how hard you punch. It really doesn't. Even if you could kill someone, if you can't throw in combinations, right, especially in the heavyweight division, you're gonna get beaten a few times in your career.
Yeah,
more than once. You're gonna and beaten badly as well if you can't throw in combinations. If you can't,
unless you're just super duper careful about who you fight, and wasn't Wilder's handlers super duper careful with him for the first 7 years, bro. You wasn't in there with the Chisoras and the Samuel Peters and the Povetkins, and you wasn't in there with them guys for 7 years, bro. Anthony Joshua 3 years in won a belt. 3.
That's right. Twice the time he was in the
ring. I can tell you why Wilder is better than Fury.
Why?
Because despite all you said, Wilder has never punched himself.
Oh shit! I'm gonna tell you what. That's how good Fury is. He's so good. He gonna help the other guy out by punching himself. Of course, he knew that the other guy couldn't land the punch on. Oh shit!
Like, bro, you're losing this fight, bro. Don't worry, I'll give you one round.
Oh shit! Like, let me help you out, bro. I'm gonna punch myself. He help you out, bro. Like, nah, but that's just that shit will happen to Fury, because what people don't notice about Fury is he has long arms, but he has an unusually long forearm. Like, he has unusually long forearms. His forearms is long. So some goofy shit like that could happen to him because his arms are so goddamn long. Like, bro, you could punch yourself in the face and not crouch. That's how long your arms is.
Yep. Yeah, man.
It's fucking wild.
He can tie his shoes standing straight up.
Almost shit.
Like, literally, the only way we're gonna stop this shit is to get Wilder just beaten out of the sport. And it's horrible to say that, but I don't think there's no other way. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, that is the only way it's gonna stop, if we're being honest. If we're being honest, that's the only way. Like, he don't, like, the truth of it is he doesn't actually have that many fans. So when he finally retires or gets retired, he's not like he's gonna be forgotten, bro. I'm not gonna say he's Jeff Lacey. He's a little above a Jeff Lacey, because Jeff never really got the, Calzaghe stopped that shit real fucking fast. But I don't see him being remembered like with the Tysons and the whole. I don't see that. I don't see that.
He's gonna be remembered. He's probably gonna get in the Hall of Fame.
You think so? Like, be honest. You're not trolling.
No, seriously.
If he were to get in, what would it be for?
They will probably just put him in based off title defenses. I don't believe he should be in, but more than likely they're going to put Triple G in. So
yeah. But if I'm gonna say this too, I don't qualify Triple G's title defenses, bro. You was defending the regular title for like 5-6 of them fights, dog. I did not forget, and I understand that Daniel Gill ducked you and all of that, but that don't change that, bro. Baby belt title defenses. Come on now. When did we start qualifying those? That was a baby belt you was holding. That wasn't a full one. That was a baby belt. And
I mean, to be fair, he was fighting the people that were available. I think Sergio Martinez didn't want to fight him, and then you had Miguel Cotto that got stripped. So, I mean, but then again, it's still not impressive enough to be in the Hall of Fame.
What I'm saying is, if you qualify defenses of the WBA regular title, are we going to start qualifying defenses of the WBC interim? Are we going to start qualifying defenses of the IBF Intercontinental of the W?
That's the gray area in modern day boxing with a few people's reigns. Do we include them defenses?
Because the WBA regular, to be completely honest, is nothing but an interim title. That's all it really is. So are we going to now start counting interim title defenses as legitimate title defenses from the champion? No. No. I'm not with it.
See what they need to start doing, because like this era of boxing, say from the 80s, right? It really is the sanctioned era. They need to make a distinction, like undisputed defenses and just title belt defenses. They're like, just put you defenses and whatever, how many. Like Tyson had about 6 or 7 undisputed defenses. You know what I mean?
And this is why I know y'all don't watch it as much as I do, but this is why I love my girl Cecilia. It's distinct. From 2014 and on, she has defended as an undisputed champion. From 2014 and on. Currently, she has 25 title defenses. She's going to break Joe Lewis's record if she beats Jessica McCaskill for title defenses.
I started watching a bunch of her old fights again the other day. She got some talent. I knew she was talented, but like I was actually just watching. I was like, oh, okay, she really is about it.
And it's clear. It's not she was defending the WBA regular or the WBO Oceania. Like, no, it's the title, bro. It's the full title. It's no interim, no regular, none of that bullshit. It's the title.
So by right, shouldn't she be like the face of women's boxing right now, just because of what she's achieved?
This is the thing. Americans are very, like, look, I could go on. Like in Poland, right? In Norway, she's already been on pay-per-view. She already packed the house with 10,000 seats. She actually took a pay cut to come to America, and she didn't have to. She could have just sat there in Norway and hit out in Norway. But she not like she a real motherfucker. That's why I respect her. She a real motherfucker. She came to the United States like, nah, I want to crack the United States. Why not? I already make money in Norway. Let's go to America. She had to do that shit. Because Americans are ignorant to world sports and world news, that's why she's not the face, because they don't know what's on her resume. They don't know what's on Clarissa's resume, much less Cecilia's.
Yeah.
Well, if the American media was smart, they'd take up the fact that she was obviously born in Colombia. They'd call her Colombian and bring her and give her better ties to the US public, if they really wanted to. But
yeah, but they're not smart. They're not, and I've been saying this for a while now. Americans are not smart, and I'm not like a traitor. I'm being honest. Like, yo, my countrymen are kind of dumb. I'm being not like ain't no other way I can put it and be honest at the same time. Like, yo, my countrymen are dumb as shit, bro. Like,
well, to be honest, it's a problem in boxing that our promoters are just, really not even. You can't even call them that. A lot of promoters are just not even really promoters. They can't promote their own fighters, or even so.
That's because they don't know how. If I was a promoter, I swear to God, Clarissa Shields would be a household name. If I was a promoter,
consider one of the best promoters right now At least, no, not what consider. I say at least the most like what's the word for it? One of the most notorious, like one of the most famous promoters right now. Yeah, it's Eddie Hearn, and all of the hype behind himself. All the hype he gets is just behind himself, not behind his fighters.
That's not. Look, this is what I'm gonna say. Eddie Hearn is a great promoter, but I firmly believe that if he's where he is today, right, it's because he genuinely enjoys the sport and he's a fan of it. That energy that he brings carries over to the fans. Like, he gets excited about fights. You can't duplicate that. You understand? You can't fake an interest. So I wouldn't even look to Eddie Hearn. You got to be a good angler to be a good promoter. You got to be a good angler. And the angle that you could use with Clarissa is that this is your neighbor. This is your friend. This is your co-worker. This is all of us. But she's great, and you need to see that. And they don't use that angle. They put her on a high horse, and that makes people not like them, not like her, because they keep putting on, like, don't put her on a high horse. She is our neighbor. She's our friend. She's our sister, our girlfriend, our That's how you got to market her to where she's everybody's champion. She is our double Olympic gold medalist, our undisputed champion. That's what that's how you're supposed to sell her. They don't do that.
You see, Battle, this is where you're wrong about Eddie Hearn, right? If we go back to the 40s, yeah, we had Len Harvey and Jock McAvoy at the White City. They did 90,000 gates. 70,000, 60,000, 50,000 gates was not uncommon in British fights. And these ain't world title fights. These are British title fights, or maybe Commonwealth title fights. That's how popular boxing was in Britain for years, right? We're talking the Jack Solomon's era, where that started, right? Now that died off a little. Eddie come back, put 80,000 people in seats for Froch versus Groves. Eddie has as a promoter, has single-handedly revived British boxing in that way. He got AJ 100,000 seats in Wembley, right? This is why the Zone headhunted him. They didn't do it because, oh, we like him. No, he has a track record, boss. He has a track record. And when you've got girls like Kate, if Katie Taylor had to promote herself, she really couldn't do it because Katie just doesn't like talking, right?
Yeah. And I love her. I love her to death, but she don't talk.
Right. Don't talk. Kel Brook.
You got you speak English?
No, I'm not finished. Let me finish, right? You need Eddie there. Eddie sells the press conference at times, right? This is why they got him there, because he can pull the strings together. He can pull people from different, areas of promotion and whatnot, and attract a lot of fighters. That's why he was headhunted, right? It's because he's doing a good job. It's not because, of course he has an ego and he wants a lot of the camera attention on him. But in doing that, he's still doing a very good job in putting together all the cards and bringing together all the fighters and fight he's done.
I'll say what I like about Eddie is that Eddie is a boxing fan, and you can see that because he gets it's how can I put it? You can't fake an interest, right? You can't duplicate his excitement. He actually gets excited about being able to put these cards together. So you can't duplicate his enthusiasm. That's him. The way to be a good promoter is to be a good angler. You're selling a fighter and you're selling an image. You're selling a card. And what I see with like Clarissa, for example, she's with a small town promoter in Dimitri Salita, right? For what it's worth, Dimitri's doing all right by her because it's not like it's a lot of girls getting the kind of money that she's getting. So he is doing okay for what it's worth. It's just that there's so much more potential there. Like, she has a big ass and big thighs. And I'm not saying you got to sell sex, but dress her up. You know what I'm saying? Get her a stylist. Have her out here like, ooh, Clarissa got a fat old ass. You get the people that want to see fat old asses. You get the people that want to promote.
Wait. So Katie Taylor's going to be doing this?
What happened?
Katie Taylor's going to be doing this?
Look. I think Katie's cute. She's a cute kid. I think her accent is the most charming thing in the world. But I'm just saying that every fighter has a unique set of ingredients that you have to know how to tap into that. You understand? Like with Canelo, the work kind of does itself because he looks like a novella guy. He looked like a guy in a Spanish soap opera. So he ain't even got to talk. You just got to show him. He ain't even got to talk. But that's what they do. With Ryan Garcia, it's so obvious they're trying to duplicate the Oscar De La Hoya days because he fucking looks like Oscar De La Hoya. Cheesy smile and everything.
They kind of try to do the same thing with Triple G.
It's like with Don King. Could you say, well, Don King was doing it all for himself? No, Don was putting on a show. Don put on a show, and you have to sell his fighters. You think Felix Trinidad could promote himself in America? No, he couldn't. He needed someone like Don.
Exactly. And some guys, like Felix, for example, well, you representing Puerto Rico at a time when it's a lot of Puerto Ricans watching boxing. So the works, the fight sells itself just because of that. So every fighter has an angle. If Triple G were my fighter, which is why I think Tom Loeffler, I don't think he ever marketed him right. I don't want Triple G talking at all. I don't want him talking. I'm selling him as the Omega, the Destroyer. So I don't want him talking and sounding goofy and say, Big Drama Show, I like fight. Yeah, you sound crazy, bro. Don't talk.
Well, that was part of his appeal ring got cute. They tried to promote that he was a nice guy outside the ring.
That is the angle that they chose. They chose to make him like I lovable guy. I'm Triple G. I won fight. Like, man, shut the fuck up. You are irritating a lot of people with that shit.
Well, here's the thing though. Even when we say that, Triple G didn't do a lot of talking. It was Abel Sanchez. So that was a big one too.
That's true.
I'll say, look. Even though a lot of people don't like a WWE element in boxing, it's been used before. If I'm saying, look, Triple G, after every fight, right, I don't want you to say a lot of shit. I want you to say a name. When they come up to you with that mic, I just want you to say a name and make a cool face. Don't say nothing. Just make a cool face, like I want Canelo. And every fight, I want Canelo. You do the Clubber Lang shit. The Clubber Lang from Rocky 3 shit.
You mean Drago.
That's what you got to do. Why? Because that's going to add a cinematic component to the fight. They're like, yo, this Triple G guy, he don't talk a lot, but he said Canelo. I heard that shit. You got to know how to sell it, bro. You got to be a good storyteller.
I mean, but would you think that really work? I mean, it would make him. Okay, here's the thing. I love George Foreman. What he said in many interviews was that when he was like coming up in the 70s, he was a really young fighter when he first started fighting, and he used to put on this persona that I'm not really for the questions, I'm not really for the play. I just want to fight. And he would play because he was Big George Foreman. He was supposed to be the most intimidating fighter, and of course, he got that from Sonny Liston. So he said that at the end of his career, he felt he overdid it because a lot of people just didn't really like him. They couldn't really, they would laugh sometimes with him, but after a while, they'd just be like, "This is just weird." Like, put
it this way, bro. Go back and look at the still images of the weigh-in for Foreman versus Frazier. That shit is more intense than every Lara fight I've ever seen in my life. That stare down when Joe is on the scales and George is looking down at him, that shit is gold. Fight sells itself. It's gold. In a way, because he was so intimidating as a young man, when he came back as an older, more approachable man, it was synergy. Like, oh, George is mad nice. He's past Jay. He's friendly and jovial, and he's a different guy. It all lends itself to itself. But if you're selling a fighter, right, that isn't, how could I put it, charismatic on his own, right? He's not charismatic on his own. He's not Ali. So let's get that out the way. He doesn't have that silver tongue. The best thing you could do is use the tools that he has. And what tools George had? He's destructive. So you got to sell a destroyer. I ain't for the talking. I ain't for the grab assing. I'm not for it. I'm not going to sit up here and tell you a bunch of shit. I want Canelo. That's all you got to say, bro. Motherfuckers going to be talking about that for 6 months. I want Canelo. That's all you got to say. Nah.
I mean, Duran and Chavez back in the day, they didn't speak a bar.
They didn't say shit. Especially Chavez didn't say shit. He didn't say shit.
Yeah.
No. Chavez sometimes would say it, but it depends on. You remember when he said he was going to kill Hector Camacho?
Yeah, I remember that. I do remember that. Yeah, that's good build up.
No, I can tell you even intense stare down. Did you see the stare down between Tommy Hearns and
You
Marvin Hagler.
Oh my
Like,
goodness.
my goodness, that
My
man, Tommy
goodness.
Hearns, he wasn't even facing him head on. He was just like looking at the side of his eye. He was like,
Bro,
dude, you trying to run up on me?
at
Like,
the start of the goddamn fight, the way that Tommy side-eyed him, that the bell ain't
oh
ring
my
yet.
gosh.
The way he side, I'm like, yo, this shit give me goosebumps when I look at it. Like, see, we don't got that no more. We don't got that.
Yeah.
Motherfucker don't be mad like that now. Like that was different. Like, yo, Tommy, that, and you know, it is what it, but because it's a classic fight, so you can't, every fight can't be a classic fight, but you don't see that no more. Not even in the big fights, not even in the big ones. You don't see that.
America in the 80s is the best sporting product ever in boxing. Ever. There's nothing better.
You want to know something funny? Almost every time somebody gets pushed, it feels staged as crap. Like Gervonta Davis pushed
Gamboa
for no reason at all. Like,
Bro,
I was just.
remember when Shane Mosley tried to do with Ricardo Mayorga for the rematch?
Yeah. I heard that was staged. I hear he actually got Ricardo Mayorga to touch his girl's butt. But I mean that might be false too. I'm not sure, but that's what I heard.
But
It was good though. It was good. It was live though. You know what I
it
mean?
was all right, but if I looked at it, I'm like, it felt like, come on, you guys, you could
Like, how accurate you gotta be to smack somebody's cigarette out of their mouth that quick? Like,
yeah, like, come on, man.
We had some serious dexterity.
Like you don't, and I'm like, yo, look, the angle. I feel like promoters, instead of being creative, when you want to sell a fighter, right? Instead of being creative, they're copping out. Don't cop out. Look at your fighter. Look at him, and try to make a first impression. Like, okay, what do we see about this guy? So if you got a guy like Golovkin, right? He's an unusual looking guy. He has an unusual accent that perhaps the American audience is not accustomed to. Yo, keep him mysterious like a Bond villain. Keep him.
That's Sonny Liston, anonymous.
Yeah, but that was a part of Liston's appeal. Like,
No. He said that Fraser shoot Ali, and no, he didn't actually shoot him. He pulled out it was blanks.
That was a blank. Yeah, at the casino,
Yeah.
that wasn't real. That was a blank.
Yeah, I think that was kind of staged too. Like, you remember when Larry Holmes like literally hopped off the car into the crowd with
that wasn't staged, bro. That wasn't
Trevor
staged, bro. That wasn't staged. Them cops, they was really like, Larry was that guy. Man. That wasn't staged. That wasn't staged. I don't believe for a second that was staged.
Yeah, I mean, I love Larry, but I don't know, man. Like, he literally went WWE style on him. He was like,
No, that wasn't staged. That was real.
Like, what I wonder was staged when Muhammad Ali showed up to Sonny Liston's house with a bullhorn on a bus. Because that's the ultimate. Like, imagine somebody pull up to your house, battle in a bus with a bullhorn, and they talking shit on your block. Like, yo, dog, like, you are wild, dog.
That's how you know Vlad wasn't that wasn't staged with Shannon Briggs, because his bodyguards literally was like, you can't come anywhere close to this guy. Like get away, bro. Like, this is not funny no more. Like, it was like, get away from me.
I like when he put when Vlad was on the canoe and his dude
me and my brother have this little running joke because I showed him the video and he loves it so much. So every time we're arguing, I'll be like, "Let's go, champ." I'm like, "I'm the champ and you the joke."
Like, yo, bro, and you could see Vlad was actually that's what makes it go. Vlad was upset. He said, "You gone too far. You gone too far. You fucking shit." Like, yo, I never really seen Vlad get upset. Like, he got upset.
You remember when he was like, "Make a wave, make a wave." He was like, "Make a wave."
Shit was go. But yo, if I was Tom Loeffler and I was trying to sell Triple G to an American audience, I have to, because Triple G doesn't like have a strong enough command of the English language. I don't want him to be Johnny Foreigner. I want him to be the Mystic Destroyer of Kazakhstan, a country most Americans don't know nothing about anyway. So I'll start lying. In Kazakhstan, everybody fights. There's a time of day in Kazakhstan where everybody comes out of their house and they fight each other. This is their champion.
Kovalev, like, the Eastern Europeans had a more menacing aura than Triple G, I think.
Yeah,
Over they've had it.
because remember,
I don't know how much that will work today, though. Don't get me wrong. Like people, like they
bro,
in for a fight, but Sergey
it will
Kovalev, if he getting,
work. I'm telling you, it'll work because if you do it the right way, I mean, everything boils down to doing things the right way. And because we know that Americans aren't well versed in Kazakhstan, they don't know nothing about that country. They just know it's over there somewhere near Russia, and that's if they know that. You understand? So because we don't know nothing about this guy, you do the thing that Sylvester Stallone did with Drago, to where this dude is from a faraway land. This dude don't talk. The dude don't talk. All right, he hit hard and he don't talk. You can use that. Like this is the destroyer, the beast from the east. All right, and that's how you got to sell him. Now you want to make him everybody's fucking friend. Big drama show. I like box. This serious drama. Serious, like man, what? And then big Mexican show. Like now you sound like you on Mexico's dick.
It turned into the Bullet show a little, didn't it?
Yeah, like
you know, you want to know how I think it would be effective. Now, I'm like sometimes I get into a habit. Don't judge me. That thinking that the most creative people came out in the '90s and the '70s, but I'll never forget Punch Out. I think the actual first Punch Out came out in the '80s or
89, I think 89.
Yeah, '89, and you remember Sandman, right?
Yeah, I remember Sandman.
Sandman, his whole concept is really interesting. They call him Mr. Sandman because if you ever heard the Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream, and then almost all of his he's the most physically imposing boxer. He's the boss, and then the fact of the matter is, every time he comes in to fight you, he's like night night, or he'll be like dreamland or something like that. Like he's gonna put you to sleep. Like that is a cool freaking.
But that's what you have to do with fighters. You have to do that with fighters because fighters have a limited shelf life, and you have a limited amount of time to market the fighter. If people don't love nothing, they love movies. So you need a cinematic element that's not so over the top that people could see that it's staged, but subtle enough. They're like, this motherfucker serious business. This Triple G guy, he's serious motherfucker. Like, nah, y'all sold us this goofball. But I like fight. Yeah, like what the fuck, huh? The fuck? Stop giving that guy a mic. Cut that.
Honestly, I think a lot of wrestlers.
Let me tell you something. I was watching one program, and Triple G scared the fuck out of me. Right? They showed him in the dressing room before his fight. It was just him by himself. And he just looked like a mad person when he was getting into fight mode. He didn't say anything, but if you saw his face, he was like, what the hell? He looked mad. You look mad. You look crazy.
I'm going to give you an example of what I'm talking about, right? Remember Bloodsport, right?
Yeah.
Remember Chong Li?
Yeah.
Chong Li didn't have a lot of lines. He had 4 lines the whole movie. Very good. But Nick, not hit back. He said more when he wasn't talking than when he was.
Yeah.
That's what you got to use. If you're trying to sell a foreign fighter, like let's say a Luis Ortiz, right? Don't have Luis Ortiz over there struggling to speak English. Don't do that to him. Y'all asking him all these goddamn long-ass sentences in English. Bro, he just had a fight. Like, he ain't even in his right mind to be answering questions and shit. What you got to do is, Ortiz, after every fight, I want you to say this guy's name, dog. I want Joshua. Give me Joshua. I want Joshua. That's all you got to do. And that's all motherfuckers need. That's all we need.
I think I don't know if that would work too well, Ring Lucky, because and I'm not trying to sound like I'm just crapping on all your decisions. I'm just saying that I don't think our media has really promoted Cubans as intimidating people. Like,
bro, I'm saying you remember what I'm talking about. You beat the doodle out of Brian Jennings, right? So you're picking up steam. You beat the doodle off of Brian Jennings the same year that Vladimir beat him. Cool. Go in there with Tony Thompson and his party socks. Tony Thompson is the only dude I ever seen wear party socks to a boxing match. The dude dead ass wore the socks you buy from Modell's and wore them to a boxing match. Cool, whatever. At this time, Luis Ortiz is seeming like a beast. So you take that energy and you work around it. Like, look, we know Luis doesn't have a strong command of the English language, so let's not put that on him. We want people to be excited about him, but it's going to look funny if he can't get a sentence in. So don't put that on him. Tell him, yo, say this guy's name and that's it. All right. And then if the dude keep talking to you, look at him in his face and grill him. You know what I'm saying? Because we selling a character. We ain't just selling a fight. We're selling a character. The reason you can't market a lot of Cuban fighters, it's not just the style, it's the language barrier. There's not that many Cubans in the States. It's not as big a community as the Mexican community or the Puerto Rican community. So you already don't have that same audience. You got to try to find something else about the fighter to sell to where other people are getting excited about the fighter. With Ortiz, you had the unique opportunity of selling an offensively gifted Cuban fighter. What do y'all do? Y'all ask him all these goddamn questions, and then I got to wait for Hector to translate for him. That shit ain't scary, bro. That's not scary. If you want him to be scary, don't talk. Don't talk. Don't say nothing.
I remember one time they tried to get Luis Ortiz trash talking in Cuban, and but this didn't work, man. Like,
I remember that was after a Wilder fight.
Yeah,
he walked in the ring after this was after the first fight, but before the second. When he walked in the ring, he started talking, and it looked so fucking. It was so rehearsed. It was like, come on, dog. Like Wilder doesn't even know what you're saying. Like, this is not gonna work, man. Like. I need to become a boxing promoter. That's what, because I know if I don't know nothing else, I know how to sell a story.
Do you know what?
Go ahead.
Yo, no, geez, you know what? You're right in that sense, because remember just before Wilder faced Ortiz time, and Ortiz is jumping over the ropes almost like, I want to fight you, I want you. You're right, because that was drummed up the interest for that fight.
Yeah, and you don't got, and it's like, it's not like you got to get up there and say a diatribe or a speech. There's something very menacing about, if you just watched him, right, knock out a guy, and he looked good doing it. It's something very menacing about silence. You say more with what you don't say than what you do say. Something very menacing. I want Yeshua. That's, if you say that in every interview, Fight Hype come up to you, motherfucking Fight Hub come up to you, Behind the Gloves come up. I want Yeshua. And you don't say shit out. I want Yeshua.
It's like Duran, yeah? Like, Duran had certain things. Like, when the fight was over, he'd stand up in the ring and look at you. And at the end of the round, he'd push you back to the corner and sing. So them things stuck in the public's head. I've never heard Duran speak English. I mean, you guys heard Chavez. I want to hear Chavez saying, I'm going to beat up Camacho. I've seen the fight. But I didn't hear him talking. I love to hear him talk.
Yeah, and let me answer Mansour's super chat. In your opinion, does either Popo Freitas, Zab Judah, or Vic Darchanyan make the Hall? I think this year Zab might make it. I think he might make it this year.
Who's that?
He said Popo.
Hold on, one sec. So one sec. Grievous in the chat just want to say Canelo can speak English. He just doesn't need to. The Mexican population is way too big. He doesn't need to speak English. He speaks English very well.
Canelo actually understands. Canelo's one of those guys that understands English, but he doesn't like how he sounds speaking it, so he doesn't speak it. But he does understand it. I've seen that. He understands English, bro. But once again, with Canelo, what you're selling is debonair good looks, because that's what they used to sell him, is debonair good looks. They sell him like he's a novella guy. So he don't gotta talk. Like, all he gotta do is go in there with his hairstyle and throw his punches and don't say shit.
If I was promoting Hunter, I would be promoting the real heavy Hunter stuff, like like the Predator mask. Okay, first of all, the Predator mask was just it was kind of lame.
Yeah.
Not saying that the concept itself, is just that I didn't like the Predator mask itself, but I would promote the Hunter part of Michael Hunter. I would give him maybe I'll give him a Predator mask. Maybe I do. I'm not sure like how I promote him, but I would go heavy on a Hunter.
Give him a bow and arrow. Give him a gun. Give him a gun.
Give him a gun. A gun is not as cool though. Like you have to go all out. Like I'm trying to think.
Like I said, a gun or a bow and arrow or something. That you give him something like, I'm hunting you, that I am on your radar. Make him look like Deadshot from DC Comics or Deathstroke, something like that.
I would say, look, for Michael Hunter, right? You got to look at his situation, the uniqueness of it, and the parallel that you want to make is try to make him. Even though I'm going way out on a limb here. This is a big reach, but you'd have to try to sell him like, oh, he's this era's Holyfield, and I know that's a big reach, way big reach, because Michael like he ain't Holyfield, bro. But that's the angle you got to take. The young upstart trying to make it in the heavyweight division, having moved up from cruiser. That's the angle you got to take because he don't got a lot of personality, and he doesn't have the excuse that Golovkin has or that Luis Ortiz has to where they don't have command over the English language. Now you do, you're just not that exciting. So it's actually a little harder to sell you because of that. I don't know what I would use for Michael Hunter to be honest.
They kind of promoted Lomachenko the right way with like the Matrix and whatnot. Because honestly, what I would do, I would probably play the Matrix theme song. You remember I think it's like the Sift Heads or something like that. Like you remember the song that's playing when Neo like meets the girl with the red dress and then like the agent comes out.
Yeah, like you could do like an Undertaker thing. The lights turn off and then that music from Matrix. You know that bullshit.
Yeah, something like that. I give him like a freaking trench coat. That's probably too cheesy. I'm not.
It is a little cheesy, but because he delivers in the ring, the ends justify the means. Because he delivers in the ring, they're like, yeah, when you watch him fight, he's a good fight. It's a good fucking fight. You know, so the ends have to justify the means. That's a little over the top, I must admit, but.
Yeah, well, they promoted.
Yo, Julius, Mansour in the chat. Mansour in the chat. He said, can you finish off breaking down the Papa Freitas and Zab Judah and that? I did cut you off. I apologize.
No, I answered. I think Zab Judah's gonna make it this time. I think he's gonna make it in this year. I don't know enough about Popo Freitas or Darchinian, but if I had to guess, I'd say Judah goes in this year.
He was undisputed, man.
Yeah, that's got to count for something.
But I think they promoted Pacquiao in a super cheesy way, and it kind of worked. Like, like the Michael Jackson theme songs playing every time he comes out, or what?
This is why you can't use Manny, right? Manny is exciting enough that you don't need an angle. You understand? Manny by himself, just being who he is, happy, smiley Manny that throws too many goddamn punches. You don't need an angle for him.
But he looks like Bruce Lee as well and all that shit. And he could, like you say, he's exciting. He's got an individual look as well. Manny don't need shit.
Yeah, Manny don't need like Manny. Like there's fighters that don't need an angle. There are fighters that like Mike Tyson doesn't need a fucking angle. Like he's fucking Mike Tyson.
You remember when they I think the big thing to try to promote with Pacquiao was youth, because they used to throw him on the blazing hot like trunks or like the fire trunks, or they used to make his hair spiky when it wasn't really all that spiky or something like that. Like I think they really tried. Like,
say that, bro. Like, look, it was around the time when Murad was promoting him and he was beating up. He just blew, man.
He didn't need nothing. He didn't need
man. You know, the first fight with Marquez. It's controversial, but and he struggled, but it helped blow him up. It was the fights with Manny, really. It was just the fights.
Yeah, I was just saying like what they was trying to do with him when he was first coming up, because you remember like there wasn't their original plan to move up that many weight classes.
I remember when he beat up Barrera, and them days, like a lot of my friends are casual, so bring up some boxing when you call me. I mean, so I'll go see my friend, and like a lot of the dudes would come around. And when they saw him beat up Barrera, they were like, fuck, man, he's just as good as you said. And from there, they didn't forget who he was. Never forgot who he was.
Yeah, and with Manny, see, Manny makes the promoter's job easier because that kind of fighting style that he has, how he goes about a boxing match, it doesn't require promotion. All you got to do is let somebody watch him. Like, who is this guy? This guy's fun to watch. So you don't really need that for him. Like with Wake Up Mr. Fresh is asking, how would we promote Terrence Crawford and Demetrius Andre? That's a damn good question.
Ooh.
I tell you what, if I could get on first on this, it's hard to promote African American fighters, and let me tell you why it's hard. It's because you've had so many good African American fighters. Sometimes the likes of Crawford and Andrade, they just get caught up by just another black fighter who's got some skills, right? So it's a difficult job. Unless you see someone like Miller, you know what I mean? Like, if he could get his license back and lay out a couple of the top guys, he'd make his name. He'd make a name. Like, I don't know. I don't know how you block Andrade. Andrade's got nowhere near none of the big fights. Nowhere near.
I'll say this about Andre, right? I met a lot of guys that remind me of Demetrius Andrade, right? And with Andre, believe it or not, all you need to do is keep the camera on him because he's got a funny personality. Crawford is hard. Crawford is like it would be harder to promote as from where I'm sitting. I would struggle more to promote Crawford than Demetrius because Demetrius is outspoken and he has a charismatic personality. So all he needs is more screen time. He just needs more screen time. Let him talk. He tell good jokes. He's a funny guy. Give him more screen time. And that'll
like Terrence and Drive. Why didn't they open up YouTube channel? Like Dylan had a YouTube channel. I don't know how much he's done for his profile, but it was pretty popular. Sometimes
I think Andrade has got a YouTube channel. I think I've seen him and his sister on YouTube on a channel.
Well, Ring, let me ask you a question. Was Whitaker making a lot of money? When
you talking about Purnell?
Yeah.
Nah, man.
No, he wasn't. No.
Okay.
He
I'm
done
trying to figure out how.
He done okay battle, but it's only because he had hands. But he was struggling. Like I remember some they'd say he was boring and stuff like that. Southpaw, tricky, clever, and apparently a lot of the issues he went through is because he didn't believe he got the due he was due.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this about Purnell. The way people talk about Purnell now in 2020 is not the way that he was talked about when he was an active fighter. He wasn't appreciated anywhere near as much. So nah, dog. He wasn't getting no bank. He wasn't, and that's true for a lot of fighters. But he wouldn't get no.
You know what fucked up really though, right? Is the Chavez fight, the decision on that one, it was a bad decision, man. I remember watching it, and there's a couple of fights I'm watching. You know when you feel really bad for a fighter? I was like, draw? Are you serious? Like Whitaker put in such a beautiful boxing performance. They said he was gonna run. He didn't run. Right there, giving my guy angles, pumping him like shit, couple little 1-2, and like he didn't get the decision. Them things hurt fighters badly. They hurt fighters badly, man. The De La Hoya fight, it could have went either way, in my opinion. Could have went either way. But I think the Chavez fight that hurt him pretty bad.
I'm gonna say that with the De La Hoya fight, bro. At that point, you would have had to go in there and beat Oscar with a chair. Like,
yeah,
you would have had to because they're like, bro, they're not gonna give it to you. Not for no goddamn boxing match.
Oh. He flawed Oscar though. I couldn't believe he had Oscar on the deck, man.
Yeah, I mean,
you know
that he did. Look, in an ideal world, Purnell maybe gets the decision in an ideal world, but you got to be realistic with yourself. You see how they are about Oscar. For God's sake, he just cut a music album, all right? Yeah. Like you got to hit this guy with a baseball bat to win a decision. So it wasn't gonna happen. It wasn't gonna happen, and that's why I don't feel sorry for Lara. Don't talk all that shit and get the fight and then try to win a chess match. Like, no, bro, you gotta go balls to the wall. Yeah. You gotta risk something.
Yeah. I think this is like I just thought of it only like 20 seconds. So, I didn't think it all the way through, but I think the way you can promote Crawford is just, well, for one, I think for Crawford, you would have to promote him as just I'm a community guy because his nickname is Bud. So you have to put him as a community guy. He doesn't have to be the person that talks much because he doesn't really like to. He says in one occasion that he doesn't like to or go to his Twitter or something like that. So you have to promote him as a community guy. Also, his fight appeal would have to be like transformation because his first career, nobody gave a crap about Crawford. Danny knocked out Gamboa, and then he came into like a knockout puncher, just outboxing and any boxing, just putting on boxing clinics on everybody. And then like that's what people was like, that is a complete fighter, because nobody gave a crap about Crawford until he beat Gamboa.
That's fair. They wasn't. I'll say
Holyfield had no personality at all.
Nope.
But his fights, you know, like the Cowie fight, man, where he started burning muscle off, that was fight of the year. Well, listen, you could watch that fight 5 times in a row and not get bored. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing about Evander Holyfield is, for one, he was funny because of his accent.
No. If you're going to try and say his personality had anything to do with him blowing up, I'm going to tell you no.
It's funny the way he talked.
Let me tell you this, right? You weren't watching boxing. How old are you?
23.
Okay, all right. You weren't watching boxing in the 80s. Let me tell you this.
No. I didn't, but I'm saying,
look, Bob, people didn't start saying Evander was a warrior by my recollection until the Riddick Bowe fights. He was heavily doubted. When he was moving up to the heavyweight division, bruh, they was sleeping on him. Like, he wasn't he wasn't an easy fighter to sell, to be honest.
Holyfield, like, he had a great looking face. He was chiseled up, and like when he knocked out Tillman, they got knocked out. When he knocked out Ocasio, knocked out. When he beat up Cowie in the second fight, knocked out. He built his rep because he was like a machine.
Yeah.
Listen, no one in the UK heard Holyfield speak. No one, but listen, he was known. Holyfield was known. No one heard him speak.
Do you think that Holyfield
I think the big appeal with him was, you know, him and his funny accent. And I'm saying when he first came up, before he started beating.
Man, you weren't watching, but they didn't sell Holyfield on his feet. Listen, he had the fight of the year against Michael Dokes in 1989, right? It's his fights. The first fight with Bo, where Bo fought him late in that thriller, it was his fights, bruh. And he's a lip.
I'm saying before that.
I'm trying to give you an education here. I can do it off the top of the head.
Go ahead.
He was married in 1984, and he got DQ'd and didn't get the gold medal, right? That story blew up for him because they thought, oh man, this is fucked up. He didn't get the gold medal, right? He won the cruiserweight title in his 10th or 11th fight, right? That's what blew him up. Like George Benton and Dugan was saying, we can't hold him back. He's too advanced. We can't put him in with the same level of opposition that most prospects were going. That's what blew him up. He was like a machine. Well, because of his accent.
Hey, your ring, Lennox is backstage. You want some?
I don't live in America. It worked because of his accent, right?
Gentlemen, yo, listen, this was great, but I actually have to go to work now. We're gonna pick it up where we left off tomorrow. And it wasn't his accent.
All right.
It wasn't Holyfield accent.
I'm just saying, I just have to go off what I was looking at on the footage, but that's my.
Gentlemen, it's always a pleasure. We'll do it again tomorrow. Loved it. You know what I mean? Loved it.
See you later.